Greetings to all. Welcome to Future Officers Academy. Today we are going to see hot topic of the year session 29. Under this we are going to discuss the topics of COP28, sickle cell disease and gene editing technology. These are the topics we are going to have detail analyze. So our first topic is about COP28. The COP Climate Summit. It is in 1992 at the Rio Earth Summit with 154 countries signed a multilateral treaty called United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, that is UNFCCC. It aimed to stabilize greenhouse gas concentrations at a level that would prevent dangerous anthropogenic, that is human-induced interference with the climate system. The treaty came into force 2 years later, and since then, countries which are part of the UNFCCC meet every year at different venues. Now, we have nearly 198 parties or signatories of this convention. Now, what are the outcome of COP28? So, that is not enough in the final agreement to accelerate climate action in the short term. Under this, the first outcome is fossil fuel phase out. In this, the role of fossil fuel in causing global warming had never been even acknowledged in any earlier COP decision, but this was getting increasingly untenable. After much deliberations, the final agreement called upon countries to contribute towards transitional away from fossil fuels, so to achieve net zero by 2050. There were no time schedules and not targets. Some countries were extremely disappointed that the term fossil fuel phase out had not been used. The next outcome is tripling of renewable energy. In this tripling of renewable energy, it says that it was expected to outcome and the only one that contributes to additional emission reductions between now and 2030. The COP28 agreement calls upon countries to contribute to tripling of global installed capacity of renewable energy and doubling of annual improvements in energy efficiency. Tripling is a global target and it is not incumbent on every country to individually triple its current installed capacity. The third outcome is phase down of coal. Despite being a fossil fuel just like oil or natural gas, coal has received a separate mention in the agreement. This is because coal was already singled out phased down in the Glasgow conference COP26 in 2021. There was a move to stipulate that no new coal-fired power plants could be opened without an inbuilt carbon capture and storage facility, but this was strongly resisted by India, China, South Africa and other countries. It was dropped and finally the Glasgow language was retired. There is nothing about how this phase down is to be measured or from what baseline. The fourth outcome of this COP28 is methane emission cuts. Methane is the most widespread greenhouse gas apart from CO2, accounting for nearly 25% of all emissions. It also about 80 times more potent than CO2 in causing global warming. Methane emission reductions can therefore bring sustainable benefits. However, several countries, including India, are extremely opposed to any mandate to cut methane emissions, mainly because one of the major sources happens to be agriculture and livestock. Cutting methane emissions could involve tweaking agriculture patterns, which could be extremely sensitive in a country like India. Next, the fifth outcome is loss and damage fund. For the poor and vulnerable countries, this was the most important outcome. A decision to set up a loss and damage fund had been taken last year in COP27, but it had not been created and no money had been promised. COP28 operationalized this fund on opening day of the conference and several countries, including host UAE, made funding commitments. By the end of the conference, commitments worth about $800 million had been made. The money is meant to provide financial help to countries trying to recover from climate-influenced disasters. Next, the final outcome is global goal on adaptation. In this was another important step developing countries have been waiting for. Historically, adaptation has not received enough attention or resources as compared with the mitigation activities, mainly because adaptation is largely a local endeavor. Its benefits also are mostly local. Developing countries had been arguing that the global framework for adaptation was necessary to bring more attention to it. Also, the COP28 adopted the framework, but much more needs to be done on this front, particularly in identifying the indicators to measure progress on each of the global goals. Also, the adaptation agreement currently lacks financial provisions, and countries would need to contribute working on to the strengthen it in coming years. So that's all from this topic. Our next topic is about sickle cell disease. So here sickle cell disease, that is SCD, is an inherited hemoglobin disorder characterized by genetic mutation that causes red blood cells, that is RBCs, to assume a sickle or crescent shape rather than its normal round shape. The abnormality in RBC results in increased rigidity, impairing their ability to circulate effectively throughout the body. Consequently, individuals with SCD often experience complications such as anemia, organ damage, recurrent and severe pain episodes, and shortened lifespan. As per the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, marginalized tribal population are most vulnerable to this disease. Now, what are the symptoms of this disease? Symptoms of sickle cell diseases can vary, but some common symptoms are chronic anemia, which leads to fatigue, weakness, and paleness. Then, painful episodes, also known as sickle cell crisis, causes sudden and intense pain in the bones, chest, also in back, arms, and legs. Delayed growth and puberty also seen. Now, what are the treatment for this sickle cell disease? The first treatment is blood transfusion. Next, hydroxyurea. Third, gene therapy. So these are the some of the treatments treated for this disease. Now, what is the India status in this disease? India ranks third globally in terms of the number of SCD births, following Nigeria and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Regional studies indicate that an estimated 15,000 to 25,000 babies with SCD are born in India annually. Most of these births occur in tribal communities, highlighting the geographically and socially economical disparities in healthcare access and awarenesses. Now, what are the challenges seen in this treatment and what are the challenges in the accessibility? The challenges are limited awareness, also inadequate healthcare infrastructure, high treatment cost, limited access to medications, inadequate screening programs, also geographical and social economic barriers, also the stigma and discrimination further hinder access to this healthcare access. There are some of the government initiatives have been taken place for this disease. They are, the first is National Sickle Cell Anemia Elimination Mission. The second one is National Health Mission, that is NHM 2013. The third one is Rights of Person with Disabilities, that is RPWDS. It was introduced in 2000. 16. So these are the government initiatives taken under this disease. So that's all from this topic. Our next topic is about gene editing. So gene editing. Gene editing is a powerful and innovative technology that allows scientists to make precise changes to an organism's DNA. It has potential to revolutionize biology, medicine, and agriculture by enabling the modification of specific genes to achieve desired outcomes. The most well-known and widely used gene editing technology is the CRISPR Cas9. Here, DNA is inserted, deleted, or replaced in the genome of a living organisms using engineered nucleus or molecular scissors. Now, currently, there are four families of engineered nucleus that are being used. That is, first, meganucleases, second, zinc finger nucleus, third, transcription activator like effector based nucleases. Next, the fourth is cluster regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats. This is CRISPR Cas system. So these nucleases create site-specific double-stranded breaks at desired locations in the genome. The induced double-strand break are repaired through the end joining or recombination, resulting in targeted mutations. Gene editing technologies like CRISPR Cas9 allow scientists to precisely target modify specific gene segments or DNA. This process has far-reaching implications in fielding such as medicine, agriculture, and biotechnology. With this, we have to know about what is this CRISPR-Cas9. It is a dynamic, versatile tool that allows us to target nearly any genomic location and potentially repair broken genes. It can remove, add, or alter specific DNA sequences in the genome of the higher organisms. It is sections of DNA and or sections of genetic code containing short repetitions of base sequence followed by a spacer DNA segments. It is an enzyme. It uses a synthetic guide RNA to introduce a double strand break at a specific location within a strand of DNA. It is a system used by bacterial cells to recognize and destroy viral DNA as a form of adaptive immunity. So that's all from our today's topics. To read this document, you can visit our website. Our website link have been provided in the description. To get more daily current affairs videos, follow our YouTube channel, also our Telegram channel. Thank you.